everybody, this is Bonnie from bonniescreativeplace.stampinup.net, and I am getting ready to go and start card number 2 from my June online class. This is the card that we're going to make today, and it opens up like this, and it sits like this. So normally you have an easel card that would sit this way, which this card would be beautiful, and you could attach that down like that and do the same thing. Turn your wording the other way if you want. But I've seen a lot of people out there making these triangle kind of a card and having it so it hooks on and it ends up sitting up like this. And I think that's really beautiful and I like it. So we're going to make this card today. Before I get started, there's a little pink square over there and there's a little bell. If you haven't subscribed or are new to my channel, I would appreciate it if you would hit those so you'd be notified whenever I upload a video. The other thing is, if any of the supplies that you see here today you can purchase from Stampin' Up, I want to let you know I cannot send any stamped images in my card kits. I can stamp any dies or punches, but I can't stamp any images to send to you. So if there's a die cut, I can send it to you, or a punch. But other than that, I cannot send any stamped image. So for this class, the requirements were to purchase the hand-painted petals die bundle, and that meant the dies in this. I have used a couple other dies throughout the 4 cards, and I tell you what I did as we go along in the video. I don't always give out measurements of every little piece because you get all that written in the tutorial. Sometimes I tell you some of them, but I don't tell you them all. I just get involved in making the card. So, you know, that's just what I do. What else do I want to tell you? I guess that's it. We can get started. So when you get your kit, you're going to get all 4 cards in their own separate little envelope. This happens to say card number 2, so you're going to need card number 2's kit for this card. So I'm going to just set this off to the side right there. And all your supplies are in here. There is usually another little bag with embellishments in there. I don't always put them in my kit when I'm doing it because I'll just pull them off my shelf and use them. So for this card, we're going to start out with a pale papaya piece of cardstock that is 8.5 by 5.5, and we're just going to score it right in half this way first. So we're scoring it in half. So the folded end's over here. So we're going to go like that and give it a good little crease. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold it back so that the folded end is here. I know it looks like, oh, we're going the wrong way. We kind of are. But only for a minute. And then you're going to take this and you're going to pull it in and go this way. I'm only going to finger press it this time because you want it to have that bounce back up. Okay? So far, that's all we're going to do to the base of the card. We're going to bring in some Designer Series paper, and this is from the hand-painted Designer Series paper. So you need 2 pieces of this paper, and these are going to go right here on each side. And these are already all pre-cut for you. So it makes putting the kit together quick and easy and fun. And hopefully it inspires you to make more cards with your bundle that you have. And this, the only thing that my kits require is that you buy the bundle and you get the kit for free. So you're not paying extra for the kit. You get this for free if you purchase the bundle that or whatever supplies. If you want the extra supplies like that I'm going to be using for blends, then that's up to you to purchase them. And now we're going to take another piece of this same pattern. I'm just going to use the other side. And I'm going to put this piece. I can get my snail. I think it's getting ready to come to the end here. And I'm going to put this piece right here. I'm just leaving a little bit of a border, just like you would on the front of the card. I'm going to put that down. Then I have another piece of Whisper White, and this is, you could stamp on this if you wanted before you put it in there, add more flowers if you wanted to and color it. I'm just gonna put mine in plain, and I butted it right up against this piece and lined it up, and then I'm just gonna put it right down, and that's for you to write on or whatever you want to do. So now we have that done. You've got extra of these for when we stamp the greeting, so I'm just gonna put them off to the side. We're gonna do some stamping and then some die cutting. So I'm bringing in this stamp image, and I'm going to take Memento black ink, and I'm going to stamp this image right here on this piece of Whisper White. I am going to bring in my foam mat. Just make sure I get it stamped up pretty good, because we're using photopolymer stamps. So I want to bring in my foam mat. So I'm going to bring in my foam mat, and I'm just going to stamp this down. Give it a good brush. If you don't have the Stamparatus would be perfect because you could go over and over again. If you don't have the Stamparatus, a chuck, they're calling them a chucky or chuck, use this to rub around it, and that will help your image to come out really nice. So there we go. We got our image. All right, so now we're going to color it. And I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of paper here. And I got a Well Loved. I'm going to be using the other side. And we're going to color this. I'm going to tell you the colors I'm using. I'll zoom in, and I probably will definitely fast forward through this. So I am using Soft Seafoam Light. I am using Pale Papaya. Well, Soft Seafoam Light and Dark. Pale Papaya Light and Dark. And Flirty Flamingo Light and Dark. Not doing a lot of blending or anything. It's pretty basic, and you'll see as I color. So I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see. Let me see. I'm trying to keep it in position. Oh, too much. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color now. I'm going to start with the leaves. So I'm taking the light, and I'm going to color all the leaves in. Okay, so that's all my coloring. So now I am going to zoom you guys back out. Sorry if I made you dizzy there for a minute. Okay, and I'm going to bring in the little guy, and we will get the die cuts here. We're going to put platform 1, platform 2, and we'll need another platform 2. And we're going to sit this down on here. We're going to get the die. We'll place this on here. I'm going to use some of my Post-it note tape that I love, that I show you guys all the time in the different videos. Remember to offset these and then crank it through. I struggled with that when I first got it. Sometimes I still forget and do that. Okay. Then we'll peel this off. All right, so we got that piece. We'll set that aside. Then we are going to bring in a piece of the, what color is this? It's not Soft Seafoam. It is Soft Suede, or Soft Succulent. I had to think about it. A piece of Soft Succulent. And we're going to use 2 of the leaves in here. They've kind of got, I don't know, they're like this one and this one. So those are the ones we're going to be using. And you're going to be die cutting these out. I'll show them to you guys again of what they look like after I cut them out, so you can tell better when you're cutting them out. So this is what they will look like. They will have the little hole. I can't get this one out of there. Okay. They'll have the little holes out of them. So that's, you'll need one, that one, and then you will need this one. This one. So you'll need 2 of them. And so you'll have your piece to cut them out with also. Alrighty, so let's set this off to the side because we're done with that. And this. And now let's start putting this card together. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, before we start, actually, I decided again I wanted this one to say, "Feel better, my friend," or "Feel better, friend." So, but if you have a different stamp, go ahead and use it. But I try to stick with whatever was in the bundle. While I'm putting this card together, I'm going to let that sit over there and dry. And then we don't have to worry about that, me smudging it. So we're going to take this, and what I did was I went ahead and I took 2 glue dots and I just kind of put them right on the center line here. You can roll them up if you have to. And then I put one right about here. Just, I kind of eyeballed it to how far up and down it had to be. And then I just stuck this there. I push down, give it a good, and it'll do its own thing then. Okay. So now we have to create this little stopper. Inside here, I'll get this card open so you can see. That's where I put the 2 leaves. I have a leaf there and there. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to put these down first. So I went ahead and I got the liquid glue out. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this on here. Okay. And I'm going to put this one right about there. And then I got this and I did the same thing. You could do this before or after. Oops, I got a little bit too much glue here on this one. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to dab it with a little bit of a paper towel so that it just a little bit. And I'm leaving a fairly big space there between that and there. Okay. And now this is an old retired punch. I don't even remember what size this one is or what it was called. It's got to be the 1 3/8. It's a 1 3/8 scalp punch that Stampin' Up! Used to sell. So you could use a 1 3/8 circle if you don't have this and you want to recreate it again. Or if you have this punch, you can use this. But I punched one of these out for everybody. So then we're going to stick this onto here. Okay. Yeah. Put that right there. It just gives it that little bit of a, what do you want to call it? Outline. I absolutely love it. And then I'm going to put 2 Stampin' Dimensionals on this. And right between those 2 leaves, I'm just going to stick this so that catches right there, just like that every time. And you can make this go whatever way you want it to go. Then I'm going to be bringing back in these same gems. And I'm going to put one of the bigger green ones right here on the Feel Better one. And then I'm going to close this so I can do it a lot better. And then I'm taking 2 of the bigger, oh, if I get it on the right side, the bigger like orangish, peachy colored ones, and I'm putting them on the center of those 2. And that is your card. And it sits up just like that. So thanks everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for subscribe, all the good stuff. And I'll be back with card number 3.